What's up everyone, Bobby back here with another video, and as you saw, we resurrected the Datsun out of the old shed, and I actually brought it to my house so we could do a little bit of work on it. Alright, so here we have the Datsun, and you may wonder what we're going to be doing to it. So there's really been three things that has held me back from actually driving this car. So the first issue being that although I am losing weight, and it's going great by the way, and if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll give you all a little bit of a progress update and how that's going since you all are concerned about that. But since I am a pretty big guy, and the Datsun is a pretty small car, I think it weighs like 2,700 pounds, I don't fit in it the best. My main problem, and you all probably see it in a lot of my honest car reviews, is that my dick hits the steering wheel. And this car doesn't have power steering, so it's even more of a problem. And the fact that it has a clutch, it's really hard for me to like maneuver my leg whenever my dick's hitting the steering wheel for me to shift the damn thing. So that issue we are going to solve in today's video. Now there's two other issues, one of which I'm going to look into to see exactly what's wrong with it. And then a third one we won't be able to fix today, but I am addressing it, and you all saw a sneak peek of it like a year ago. So the passenger side wheel, we believe has a stud broken off. I say we because whenever we figured this out, it was when, you know, all the boys were still together. But fuck those guys. I'm just joking, we're cool. But the passenger rear wheel, like we tried to take the lug nut off and it looked like it just wasn't coming off, like maybe a stud was broke off. And if it was a 5-lug wheel, I'd just say fuck it and drive it, but these are 4-lug and it's a little bit sketchy to me. So I want to take a look at that. And the third thing that Ryan and Jake's dumbass ran into whenever they stole this car was that whenever we last did stuff to this, we cut the owner before us had some kind of like rigged like flex tube piping out the rear for the exhaust, and we thought it'd be a good idea to take it off because it looks stupid. Little did we think that it was going to create carbon monoxide buildup in the cab. So if I was to drive this car without the exhaust, I'd probably die. Damn, look at that lighting, son. I got this light from Harbor Freight, and I didn't even think to turn it on, but I want to turn it on now because I think shit looks better. Either that or I look like Casper. But today, what we're going to get started with first is modifying the seat bracket so the front of the seat will sit down farther than it normally does. Alright, so as you can see, we already have the seat out. So what we're going to be basically doing is cutting out this right here. This is where the seat currently bolts to. It bolts in the front, and it kind of arches the seat up some. And back here, we're going to have to keep all this the same, so I'm not going to be able to lower the back down, because this, like right here, is actually raised up compared to the other side. So basically what we're going to have to do is I'm going to take an angle grinder to this and cut this middle rail out here. And then I'm going to drill 2 holes through the floor to put some grade 8 bolts through to bolt our seat down. And yeah, that's what we're going to work on today. But before we get started working on this, I want to tell you guys about a company called Displate. So Displate hit me up and they was like, yo, we have these awesome metal signs that look great in garages. And I have to say, I fell in love with these things as soon as I took them out of the box. So the first one I got here is the Ohio state flag. And then I got a United States poster that has all the states on it with their own corresponding license plates. And then this is my favorite one. I got an American flag that has a bunch of different license plates from all the states. And I also really like this one. This is Walt from Gran Torino. Badass movie. And of course, we gotta have a little bit of American muscle in the muscle car garage. So there's a few reasons why I really love these signs. And the first reason is just the quality and attention to detail. These signs are high quality print, and let me just show you the back of it. So on the back, if you see this right here, someone signs every poster that's checked for quality. I think that's awesome. Like, that's a legit Sharpie. That's not just something you know, printed and thrown on here. I think that's awesome. And the second thing I love about these is how they mount. Now y'all saw me just take it off the wall. So there's actually these two magnetic pieces that just stick to your wall. And then when you want to hang it up, and you can even switch them around if you want to, you literally just stick it on the wall. And it's on your wall. Like, it's that easy. So if you're interested in any of these signs, they have a lot of different designs on their website made by real artists. And down in the description, there will be a link with a promo code. So make sure to go get you some of these signs if you want for your garage. I think they definitely take your garage to the next level. Alright, so as you can see, got done cutting that out, and as I started cutting, I quickly realized that as thin as that metal was, if it did add any structural integrity to the car, it couldn't have been much because it was literally like 3 millimeters thin. And the angle grinder went through it like butter. But with that being said, I couldn't get the angle grinder into all the spots. I was wanting to completely cut that out. So what I did was I cut out what I could using the holes that were already there in that piece to my advantage. And then I made some relief cuts around each edge with the angle grinder just so I could hammer that part back in. And I got to pick up these scrap pieces of metal, and then we're going to put the seat back in and see if the seat sits in there now. I hope I don't have to cut anymore, but if I do, whatever. Alright guys, so I test fitted the seat. I put the bolts in the back and see where it was going to line up. It cleared everything just barely, but it did clear it, so I don't have to go in and recut anything. However, I ran into a bit of an issue. So I had some old, well, I say old, but some grade 8 bolts left over from the Ricer truck suspension that I used on the strut that my buddy broke the stud off of. So I was going to reuse those, but I didn't realize how little those were. And the bolts that were in the seat previously were like twice as thick. So instead of like putting those old ones in there and worrying about, I don't know, me dying in a car crash, I'm just going to wait, go down to the hardware store tomorrow, grab some bigger bolts and throw those in there. But I'll show you all what it looks like basically like mocked up. The only thing that's going to change is me drilling the holes and putting the bolts in. So as you can see, the seat is quite a bit lower. I didn't get any before shots, but basically the problem I was having is my legs sitting right here would hit, my dick would hit the steering wheel. Exactly how I said earlier. So when I cut those out, that front sit down lower, and I already sit in it. And it fits a lot better. Like, it goes from barely drivable to comfortable just by doing that, because my legs barely touch the steering wheel now, but they're not like pressed up against them. So all in all, even though it's not completely finished yet, it was a success. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to take a look at what we think is a broken stud on the passenger side rear. But since we're fixing the seat and we're working on the dots, and basically my plans for this is one, get the seat fixed so I can drive it and be comfortable. We pretty well accomplished that tonight. I need to look into that stud to see if the lug nut's stripped, or if we were just being dipshits, or if it actually has a broken off stud, and address that. And then there's something draining the battery. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to track that down, but either way, that's not really that big of a deal. So that is what's going on with the Datsun update. However, there's something else I've been wanting to talk to you guys about. So as you all know, if it's not apparently obvious, I'm a pretty big guy. I've been this way for most of my life. All of my life, actually. I've always been bigger than other kids. I've never been as big as I am now. But I've always, like, you know, from kindergarten until I graduated high school, I've always been bigger than most of my peers. And I never knew why. You know, like as a kid, I could remember looking in the mirror, you know, hopping straight out the shower with my little sausage, you know, in the front of the mirror, just thinking, you know, why am I bigger than all these other kids? You know, why out of 150 kids in my grade am I one of like the 3 fat kids? You know, like I always thought this stuff as a kid, and I just always wondered why. Like I don't know why I ate more and why I weighed more, and you know, I never knew why. It's not like I was skinny at one point and I just put on weight. Like I've always been bigger, and I've always struggled with this habit, I guess you would call it. But after high school, I really started getting bigger. I'm going to post a picture of me from high school so y'all can see, like, I wasn't small, but I was smaller. So I'm going to post that right now. So that's what I looked like in high school. And then after high school, after like moving out from my parents' house, my eating habits got even worse, and I just skyrocketed. And this is a little bit personal, so if y'all could be easy on me in the comments, I'd appreciate it. But you know, people would joke around on the internet and say, you know, 600-pound life, all this shit, and I was like, you know, at least I'm not as big as those guys, right? Like I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, yeah, like I look nothing like that. Which I think if anything, I've always, like, my body, I don't know how to say it, like I always look like I weigh less than I do. Like I look like I weigh a lot, and I do weigh a lot, but I always weighed more than I looked like I did. But, you know, like I said, people would joke about the 600-pound life thing, and I would just brush it off and just think, you know, whatever. Like I don't look anything like those guys, you know. Like those guys are huge. I'm just, you know, I'm quite a bit overweight, but not as bad as those guys. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. This was probably 6 or 7 months ago. Whenever I started my diet the first time, I stepped on the scales, and I'm not exaggerating. I know a lot of you guys are going to give me shit for this, and I don't care, because I know a lot of you guys are going to support me, and that's what I'm here for. But I stepped on the scales one evening, and a number popped up. Yeah, you're thinking no shit, but yeah, a number popped up, and it said 597. 597. Like when I saw that, like I had like a pit in my stomach. I can't explain it. Like I weighed 597 pounds. I know, you know, that's a lot. Like that's 600-pound life territory. Like that's how much those guys weigh. And I think everything really hit me when I saw that. And I, you know, took a second look back at all the comments. Like, there are people genuinely worried about me, like wanting to see content from me and stuff. And I just, like, it hit me like a freight train. Like, I need to lose weight. Like, I don't need to do it a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I need to do it now, or I'm not going to be around. Like, I might not be around to make it to like, 30 years old. And I'm one of those people that I genuinely enjoy life. Like I have fun, I laugh, I like making videos on cars, and like it's one of my hobbies. And when I can't fit in half the cars, I want to drive or ride with people in, or just anything. Like seeing that number just exploded my mind, and I realized like I need to lose weight. Sorry, I'm getting a little teary-eyed. It's weird. I've never really been upset talking about my weight, but I guess it's a little different when you put that shit on YouTube, huh? But realizing that in that moment, like, things had to change. I want to be around on YouTube for years to come. I want to be able to produce better content for you guys because my weight really holds me back a lot. And I really want to, just be better. Like, I want to be skinny for the first time in my life. I don't even care if I'm super skinny. Like, if I'm 230 or 240 pounds, like, that's enough for me. That's enough to live a healthy life for years to come. And that's why I really wanted to just share this with you guys, because as you all know, I went on a diet back in March, and I was on it for about 2 months, and then I went on my trip to Florida, and I kind of went off it, and I never was able to adjust my body back to getting back on it. But my eating habits were like a ton better, and I gained maybe 5 pounds in a 4-month span. And I just started my diet about 2 weeks ago, and it makes, even though I'm still a really big guy, losing that amount of weight is just like monumental for me. Like, I've never lost this much weight. So basically, I got down to about 540 by the beginning of May. So you do the math, that's about 57 pounds, if I'm not being stupid. Yeah, 57 pounds. So I started at 597. So I lost 57 pounds in a matter of about 2.5 months. Yeah, 2.5 months. 2 months, something like that. So that was huge, and I was struggling to get back on it, but like I said, I wasn't gaining much weight. But I just went on it like 2 weeks ago. Repeating myself, sorry. And I've lost about 14 pounds in the past 2 weeks. Now, my body does retain quite a bit of fluid. That's why I never show my legs on camera, because it's really embarrassing. But basically, my legs retain fluid because my weight and the amount of salt I take in on a daily basis just from eating too much has kept my body from getting rid of this fluid. So it all goes down to my legs. So my legs end up like huge. Like, I'm talking huge. Like, I haven't wore, regular tennis shoes in like 2 years. I know that's embarrassing, but and that's why I never show them on camera, because it's really embarrassing to me. But honestly, at this point, like, fuck it, like, I'm really thinking about just doing whatever. But yeah, like, my legs stay huge. So a lot of this, like, a lot of weight is water weight. Like, I don't know, my body could probably hold up to 20 pounds of extra water weight. But just being on this diet, like, man, my legs are so much smaller. I feel so much better, just getting around. Like, I'm in it this time. And I just wanted to give you all, like, a little update there as to my weight loss progress and what's going on. And yeah, like, I'm really trying this time. There's no going back. There's no stopping. Like, this is reality. Like, I do this diet or I die. That's what is in my head right now. And there's not a scarier thing for me in this life other than death. And I think, you know, me implanting that in my head, like lose this weight or die, that is what is making me do this at this point. And, you know, I really appreciate all the support from you guys. And you want to talk shit, go to hell. Honestly, like, I don't really care. YouTube comments don't really bother me anymore. But yeah, it's just, I really want to talk to you guys about this because, you know, you all are always asking about my weight loss progress, and I've just been completely honest with you guys. Like, my fat ass weighed 597. Now my fat ass weighs like 532 is what I recently weighed in at this morning. So we're making progress. We're not going to stop making progress. And if you all hoped I was going to die of cardiac arrest and Ryan is going to get this channel back, too damn bad. Thank you all for sitting through this video. I know I rambled a little bit, but I just really want to talk to you guys about this because it's really important. I want to get it off my chest, and I want you all to be on this weight loss journey with me, you know, from almost 600 pounds to hopefully like 200. That's my end goal weight, and right now we're chugging along, and it's going good, guys. It's really going good. Like I said, thanks for sitting through this with me. Don't forget to check out Displate. They make some awesome stuff. Like, I really mean it. Like, if you want like metal signs for your garage or house, check them out. But I'm gonna hop off here and get this video edited for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Sorry we didn't get too much work done, but there's going to be more to come, and I hope you all stick around for it. I'll see you all later.